Hello, it is the beginning of Vlogmas, and for the first time ever, I don't know, I'm gonna try to do all 31 days of December videos every day. I think like the first few years I did Vlogmas, I think I did like up until Christmas, right? And for the last handful of years, I've done like 12 days of Vlogmas. I'm feeling ambitious, and I decided I'm gonna try to do the 31. I actually have the ideas for most of the videos already, so I am pre-filming, obviously. And it's not gonna be like vlogs, it's gonna be like generally, well, there might be a few vlogs, but it's generally gonna be like topics like this. Also, the background will change probably throughout because I've started setting up my Christmas stuff and I'm not done yet. Like I did these lights, but I think I'm gonna do them on all 4 parts of this shelf. I might also do that shelf. I'm also thinking about getting a tree for this room. We're feeling very chaotic with the Christmas energy. So you will see an evolution probably of this background, and you will see this shirt probably in every video. If you're a Vlogmas OG, this Christmas sweater pops up because it's the only time of year I can wear it, and it's my N7 Mass Effect Christmas sweater. So I'm going to wear it as much as possible. But anyway, for the first day of Vlogmas, I decided winter books. I did some fall books earlier in the year. I did some transition books for November recommendations, and this time is the winter books. I've probably recommended a lot of these before. I probably have done a winter book rec video before, but we're bringing it back. There's some new ones on here that I've read in the last year. So let's get into it for the wintry recommendations that don't have anything to do with holidays. None of these are contemporary books or anything that mention the holidays. They're just winter. So first, to complement the fall/transition season recommendation of Uprooted, we have Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I kind of wonder if most of the books that she'll come out with, like when she's not doing Scholomance or whatever, or Temeraire, if they're gonna be like, she's done fall, winter, is there gonna be like a spring, summer book? 2 more, you know? Even though they're not like in a series or anything, I just feel like that would be great. I prefer Uprooted, some people prefer Spinning Silver, but this is a sort of Rumpelstiltskin-y story. Follows a main character who is Jewish, has some like Jewish folklore and things. A version of the Fae, they're called something else and I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. They're involved, so there's like magic, there's like czars and czaristas and all of this stuff around history, but also like folklore and things. So this is quite wintry, cold, takes place in winter, it's freezing, all that. Similar vibes to that, and one of my favorite series of all time is the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden. These all, at least at some point, take place in winter. The Winter of the Witch, the last book, is like all winter basically, but there's winter themes throughout this. This is an Eastern European folklore and history inspired trilogy. Follows the main character from childhood into adulthood. The first book is like the only part that's childhood. These are definitely adult books. I think everything on this list is adult actually. There's like one exception. But we follow her, and she is somebody who kind of has a foot in the mortal realm and a foot in the magical realm, and it's a Death and the Maiden romance. That's not the main point of the story, but that definitely is a thing. He's like a god of winter. Yeah, there's lots of like winter vibes. The Winter of the Witch especially. I talk about this book all the time. If you guys haven't read the series by now, I don't know what to do. I actually want to reread this series, but probably just this book, because I mean, I remember so much of like the rest of it. This book, iconic. I keep saying since I've read this book, I think I read it in like winter of maybe 2019, or was it 2020? I don't remember. I keep saying in the winter I'm gonna reread this, and I just keep not doing it, but I think this year will be the year. So I look forward to spending time with this book again. These books all have a similar vibe of the ones I've already recommended, but The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid. This is a standalone. Follows main character who is pagan. She is taken from her people by essentially these like Christian like woodsmen and then taken to like the main city. But this is a fantasy world, but it's heavily inspired by Eastern European folklore, both pagan, Jewish, and like early Christianity, and there's like sentient woods, and there's an enemies to lovers romance dynamic, slow burn, family stuff. There's a lot of things, but it's taking place primarily in winter. It's cold, it's in the woods, all of that. So definitely big winter vibes. Then particularly, I mean, this whole series kind of has a winter vibe to me, maybe because I usually read it in winter, I don't know. But The Silvered Serpents by Rashi Chakshi. This is book 2 in the Gilded Wolves series. I do feel like book 1 also has like winter vibes. I mean, they all kind of do. Anyway, this one in particular, they go to a very winter setting and they're in essentially an ice palace and investigating stuff, and it's like a puzzle. This whole series is sort of, it is a multiple POV story. It's YA, it's the only YA on this list, and is a band of characters that basically like solve puzzles and stuff. Some people compare it to Six of Crows. This is not a heist story. It's more of a like, I don't know, like the vibes of something like The Mummy, Indiana Jones, I guess, if there was like more of a group and it was an actual diverse group. That movie about the Declaration of Independence with Nicolas Cage, like where they're having to like solve puzzles and stuff, right? And there's like a whole like little quest, that's the big thing. And then there's a bunch of angsty relationships in it. But this one, the setting in particular, very cold, very frosty. So good for winter. And lastly, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This is just, again, winter vibes. Most of you probably know the synopsis of this, but a girl makes a Faustian deal with basically a devil and becomes immoral, but no one can remember her. And that is her plight. And then one day she eventually, very far into the story actually, meets someone that does remember her and all that. But this is like a very wintry feeling book. Again, I'm not sure if like the main part of the story does take place in winter, and that's what makes me think winter, but this is just like cold city. I think there probably is some winter stuff. I'm not remembering exactly, but like when I make these kinds of lists, I go off of vibes and what my brain like remembers vibe-wise, and vibe-wise, this is a winter book. It just is. It's also like a lot of winter books for me are like slightly slower, more character-driven. I mean, not all of these are that necessarily, but like that's this vibe of a book, like cozy, slow, character-driven relationship stuff, not fast-paced action-y necessarily. So yeah, those are some books that I consider winter books. Comment them below and let me know what books you consider winter books. Also, let me know if you're looking forward to Vlogmas, and if you have any topics that you would like me to talk about. I have a few more spaces on my calendar of 31 days. I have most of it filled, but I have a few things. So if you guys have anything you would like to see Vlogmas related, definitely let me know in the comments, and let me know any books that you consider winter books. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.